Everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. What we got here, this is DC 100-page comic giant, issue number 1, Superman. Now, if you've watched these other ones, you'll know this part. These are Walmart exclusives. This is DC's attempt. It started in July. DC's attempt to get more people into reading comics by getting comics out in non-direct marketplaces. And I'm talking about like actual comics, not trade paperbacks. Because, I mean, you can find trade paperbacks or I find manga, those thick manga, what are they called? I always call them trade paperbacks. There's actually a word for them. At like my local Walmart will have them. They have a few, you know, I found like some weird shit, like some Avatar stuff, not the comic company. And or The Walking Dead there. This, you know, and it's cheaper too. I mean, it's $5. What you get is you get 4 stories. One new one, 3 reprints. The new one's only 12 pages. The rest of them are average comic, which is 22, 24 pages. Let's see if this is worth it. Now, I just read that. I almost did not buy this one. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge Superman fan. There's really only a handful of Superman stories I read and thought were worth reading more than once. So, okay, the first one is the new story, Superman Endurance, part 1 and 2, which is kind of, it's only 2 things. Jimmy Palmiotti does the writing. Tom Denerick. Tom Denerick. What do I know him? Oh, the Protectors. He did the covers on the Protectors, I think. Trevor Scott's the inker. Stephen Downer's the colorist. Travis Lanham is a letterer. Brittany Holzer is the associate editor. Jamie Rich is the editor. Superman created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Special written by Jerry Siegel. All right, basically, this has Superman fighting a fucking tornado is what it ends up being. He ends up going out, and it's so damn good. It really surprised me how good this looks. I'm not a Superman fan. I'm just never really have. It's good art. Good little story. This is the new one. And he saves these people from this horrible tornado shit. And okay, then it ends with all these other ones showing up. It's like, okay, I definitely want to read the next part of this. All right. Then we get Superman and Batman, the world's finest. And this was basically it's the two of them just showing their differences. Let me see, where's the credits for this shit? Okay. Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness is a good penciler. Dexter Vines is good on inks. Dave Stewart's good on colors. Richard Starking's letters. Tom Palmer Jr., associate editor. Eddie Berganza, editor. Matt Owson, Boy Wonder. And it's just kind of, you know, showing shit from their 2 different points of view. It was entertaining. I'll be honest. I mean, he's fighting Metallo. I'll be honest. I'll probably be getting the next issue of this to read a couple of these stories. This is one where I'll read it because it's in there, but yeah, it wasn't enough to make me go, oh, I got to buy the next issue. That first story did. Art is decent. I mean, it's Ed McGuinness. It's Ed McGuinness. His stuff's usually pretty good. And I like this ending. We got Major Force and Captain Atom there, plus some people in the background. So, okay, that kind of got my attention there. All right, now this is Green Lantern. I'm pretty sure this is from the new 52 when they kind of rebooted a lot of them. It's an origin for Hal Jordan, pretty much, which we all know. If you read comics, you know this origin. But the way it's told is pretty well done. Get a little bit of history. Oh, here we go. Jeff Johns, Carlos Pacheco, Ethan Van Sciver, and Jesus Marrero, that's the inker. Ethan Van Sciver and Carlos Pacheco are the penciler and the artist. Moose Bauman, colorist. Rob Lay, letterer. Harvey Richards, assistant editor. Peter Tomasi. I'll give Johns this. He's okay on Green Lantern. I'm surprised. And actually, you know what? Now I think about it, didn't he write Blackest Night? I read that. I had the hardcover of that, and I read it. It was actually pretty good. I think so. He works, you know, decent with Green Lantern. And he's back at Coast City, and they're trying to rebuild. And of course, you know, nobody really wants to live in Coast City because of the destruction of it. He ends up saving that test pilot. Then it ends with No Man Escapes. So is that Brother Eye? Is that the Manhunters? I don't know. I'm interested enough to want to see the next one. And then the final story is the best thing in here, honestly. This is the Terrifics, which is Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Plastic Man, I'm thinking that's Phantom Girl. I'm pretty sure it's Phantom Girl from the Legion. And then somebody surprisingly shows up at the end here. Great fucking arm. We got, start off with Mr. Terrific showing up. Stang, what is his name, from Metamorpho. And it's got to do with the dark metal universe. I have no idea what that shit is. I haven't read it. But there's enough in here that explains it well enough to me. I'm like, all right, I can go with it, you know. There's Plastic Man. I love Plastic Man. And I think it's more, I never really read that many Plastic Man comics as a kid, but that cartoon was on like Saturday mornings for quite a few years, and it was syndicated for a long ass time. I remember spending part of my allowance to buy a set of rabbit ears to hook up to my TV along with the antenna so I could pick up the channel out of, I think it was in Pensacola, that aired Plastic Man every day after school. Like I was young. I'd save up, you know, even back then, rabbit ear antenna, you know, $3-4, you know, cheap, but my allowance wasn't that much. It was like $1 a week. We get this motherfucker. Who didn't this thing show up in that Sideways comic that was in the Teen Titans thing? Great art. And then we get, there's Phantom Girl. Like I think that's Phantom. She might be called something different. She was called Phantom Girl back when I read. Fucking Tom Strong shows up, and yes, I know DC owns the characters, but Alan Moore is probably not happy. Okay, we got Ivan Reyes and Jeff Lemire writing it. Oh, that's why it's good. Writing and storytellers, so they're probably drawing it too. Joe Prado's the inker, Marcelo Malalo is the colorist, Tom Napolitani is the editor, Reese with Malalo on the cover, Jessica Chen, associate editor, Paul Kamansky, Reed. Okay, that's it. Fucking great. I can't wait to read. And I think this is a newer series. It's one of the newer things in there. They're advertising metal. Definitely for the Superman story and the Terrifics. Totally worth it for me to buy the next issue. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, remember, thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.